the Lakers are being forced into an impossible decision, and that's due in large part to Gabe Vincent and how sharp he looked in his first preseason game. We're going to talk about what that means for the Lakers and how it can change their plans for him. Also, one of the new additions is already making a great impression with his new team. What's good? I'm Okechi Apakama, and this is Lakers Digest coming into another video. And before we get into everything we have for today's video, I just want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, because we are in the middle of preseason, guys, and we're only a couple weeks away from the start of the NBA season. So if you guys don't want to miss any of that Lakers basketball action, make sure you guys are subscribed to Lakers Digest. All right, with that out of the way, let's hop straight into the topics we have for you today, as Gabe Vincent plays well in his first preseason game. So, Gabe Vincent played his first preseason game for the Los Angeles Lakers, their second game, and they fell in that one 111 to 103. But Gabe Vincent really looked sharp and was one of the leaders on the team without having the Lakers not having Austin Reaves, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James on the floor. So just a quick snapshot of that game there. Lakers fall 0-2 in the preseason. They lose 111 to 113. But Gabe Vincent, 16 points, 5 assists. Knecht filled in there with 12 points. RJ Davies had 11. Jake LaRavia, who we'll get to in a little bit, had 10 points off of 5 of 10 shooting. Jared Vanderbilt was everywhere, 9.7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. Aiden, 7 points. Nick Smith, 9 points. And Bronny had 5 as well. But just to look even closer at Gabe Vincent, because he was tremendous. Like I said, in his preseason debut, he was actually red hot to start the game. Had 16 points in about 9 minutes, shooting 4 of 5 from 3. Also had 4 assists to lead the Lakers in that time period. The Lakers were leading at that point 39 to 34. Despite Golden State playing with all their starters in the Lakers sitting, Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reaves. So it was really good to see Gabe Vincent really showcase some of the things that he showed out in Miami a couple of seasons ago, where he was a starting point guard for that team that went to the NBA Finals. And so it was nice to see that Gabe Vincent kind of returned to some of that form there, as he was the lead ball handler. And that's probably not going to be his role once the season rolls around, because obviously you're going to have your main guys in Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reaves, and he's more going to be an off-ball guy. So there'll be some really sporadic moments that he'll be on the ball too much. So it was nice to see that Gabe Vincent can do this, but for a couple of reasons. And one of them, I think, is what a lot of Laker fans are thinking about, is for trade reasons. Because if Gabe Vincent can play well in his role, that will only boost his value in these trade talks where the Lakers are going to be looking to upgrade their roster. And Gabe Vincent's contract is a prime candidate to be moved here before the February trade deadline. So the Lakers having Gabe Vincent play well is only good news for them. And say if they do not trade him for the time being, then he can be a solid guy in that guard rotation that the Lakers got. Obviously you got Luka Doncic, obviously you got Austin Reaves, and then you input newcomer Marcus Smart, but then also throw in another guy, Gabe Vincent. If he continue to play at this solid rate, the Lakers would only seem to benefit from it, because they would love to have a very solid guard rotation and just different guys that you can choose from here and there. I do think Luka Doncic is more of Gabe Vincent is more of a partner with Luka Doncic, just because of Luka's height, and then you can obviously put Gabe Vincent on some of those smaller point guards and have him chase around some of those smaller guards, and then have Luka guard either the bigger guard or another wing. So I do think there is some versatility in some of those groupings. And then also Gabe Vincent just more as a leader, because that's something that's kind of been undervalued in this whole Gabe Vincent experience, is because he has a bunch of leadership qualities to himself. He spoke about that after the game against the Golden State Warriors, and he talked about how he's used to having those leadership qualities, and this has been the first couple times that he's really been able to find his voice for the Los Angeles Lakers and really utilize that for this team. So it is nice to have that leadership quality, obviously, along with Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and then a guy like Marcus Smart. So input another guy, Gabe Vincent, who's been around the block, who's been to an NBA Finals. So he knows a thing or two about playing high-level basketball, and obviously playing a role, and obviously playing different roles. So he can really help some of those guys coming off the bench and really showcase what they need to do in some certain moments, or be that guy to lead the charge himself, because he is still capable of that. And a big reason why Gabe Vincent seems a bit more confident now in this point in the season, just because he had a healthy offseason. This is the same thing that Jared Vanderbilt went through, having a healthy offseason, and now we're seeing the benefits of what these guys look like when they have a healthy offseason and they're able to work on their games and improve on their craft. Then that's where you start to see these guys really start to elevate their game and look good in these spots. So that's why Gabe Vincent looked tremendous in this one, because he didn't have to spend the offseason really rehabbing, and he was mostly just working on his game, kind of just getting better. So him dropping into this first preseason game that he played and looking real nice for the Los Angeles Lakers is a very great sight to see. But I want to talk about another player who has been playing well, and that's from some of the players that we haven't been talking about too much here, and that is Jake LaRavia continues to impress. So Jake LaRavia was more of the guys who we brought in as more of an unknown guy, especially to me. I know Jake LaRavia has bounced around a couple teams. You know, he's been on the Sacramento Kings, he's been on the Memphis Grizzlies, but he's mostly been a guy that's just been an off the bench guy and hasn't really made a ton of waves here or there. He did have a really nice game against the Lakers when he was on the Memphis Grizzlies a couple of seasons ago. But besides that, he's mostly been a guy just been off the bench, just been under the radar for a lot of people. But in his first couple of games in these preseason, he's really showcasing what he can do, and he's really just a do-it-all guard slash forward. There is a lot of versatility to this guy, which I really admire about Jake LaRavia. And he's a guy who is very knowledgeable about his role. So he talked about it after the game against the Golden State Warriors on Sunday, saying that Jake LaRavia had 10 points, 3 assists in the second preseason game with the Lakers, and he says is already pretty comfortable with the role that I'll have with his new team. Coach Redick says LaRavia's improved shape will help his activity level increase on the court. And he is right about that. JJ Redick talking about just getting Jake LaRavia, up to that game shake, up to where he needs to be conditioning wise. But the skills are clearly there. Jake LaRavia has a lot of game to him. Not only with some on-ball skills that he's got a bit of a handle to him. It's nothing too crazy, just a pretty standard handle for a guy his size, but it's good enough to run pick and rolls. He was throwing lobs to DeAndre Ayton, and he also has a bit of some scoring chops here and there. So if the Lakers are in a bit of a pinch, or say if the play breaks down, a guy like Jake LaRavia can get you a bucket here or there. I mean, just take a look at this play from a guy like Jake LaRavia. It's the whole side is cleared for him, and he was just able to go to work and hit a fall away jumper. That's a tough shot for a guy who's considered a role player. So for Lakers to pick up a guy like this and to be able to have this skill kind of at their disposal is very good for JJ Redick and the coaching staff, because there's a lot of different places you can put a guy like Jake LaRavia because of his defensive versatility. He's able to guard a myriad of different positions. He's been guarding a ton of different guys here in the preseason and also in practices as well. So he's been guarding guys from the 2, the 3, and the 4 position, maybe even some of the 1 position. Don't see him guarding ones too often, just because you have guys like Marcus Smart, Gabe Vincent, and Austin Reaves on the roster. But Jake LaRavia guarding those 2, 3s, and 4s seem a bit more comfortable, and he's got some switchability between those spots as well, because when he was on the floor with a guy like Jared Vanderbilt, who was guarding the main point of attack guy, those guys would usually switch off and guard each other's man. So there's some switchability with Jake LaRavia as well. So that is really good to see for the Los Angeles Lakers to pick up a guy like this for a relatively good deal. I believe it's like 2 years, $12 million, about that. So they're not paying him too much, and he's a guy that can really contribute and be part of a playoff rotation if he's able to knock down shots at a high level, which is something that he's already proven to do, and then just obviously fit within the scheme of what the Lakers are trying to do. He says he's a connecting player, and it's very evident from some of the things that we've seen early on that he kind of is that role. He's been taking obviously more of a step with the ball handling and doing more of that, but once Luka Doncic and LeBron James and Austin Reaves are all in the lineup, then he'll be settled more into that spot up shooter and driving closeouts type of guy, which he's shown that he can do that as well. So really good to see Jake LaRavia, and then also nice to see Gabe Vincent playing well in this early parts of the preseason. But the Lakers will have a week off from games here, so it'll just be nothing but practices. Their next game won't be until Sunday against the Warriors, once again. But let us know in the comment section down below of what you think about Gabe Vincent. Do you think this is good news for the Lakers to have him play well, because it can, one, boost his trade value, and then also in the short term for the Los Angeles Lakers really help his team out? And then two, what do you think about Jake LaRavia? Do you think his addition has been nice to the Laker team? Do you see the multitude of skills that he's got? Let us know in the comments down below. And just one more thing for us, guys. There is still 56% of you guys who have recently watched our videos who are not yet subscribed to the channel. If you guys want more of that Laker news, Laker updates, trade rumors, game recaps, just every and all things LA Lakers, you guys want to come right here to Lakers Digest. All right, I've been your host, Okechi Apakama, and I will catch you guys on the next one.